quiet peaks of a restless heart, to the island breeze where the warm dreams start. I left behind the cold and gray to find a brighter, warmer way. In crowded streets and sunset skies, in smiles that speak without disguise, I found a voice, I found a name, and nothing ever felt the same.
Townhomes and first impressions. For the next few days, we stayed in the Laguna area just south of Manila. This region stretches from the outskirts of Manila down to the south and is filled with small towns, little cities, and many diverse communities. A lot of companies have their production facilities here. There's also some industry, but mostly it's a place where many people live in modest homes, especially so-called townhouses, usually within gated communities known as subdivisions. At first, I needed some time to clear my head and start focusing on the details. The flood of impressions was overwhelming, with so many things to take in at once. One of the first things that really caught my eye was the overland electricity lines. They're everywhere, strung around houses along the streets, and they look like a tangled mess. It's such a stark contrast to Austria and most of Europe, where the majority of electric lines are underground. Even the few overhead lines back home are neatly arranged. But here in the Philippines, laughs. It looks like every time a new house wants electricity, someone just adds another cable to the existing mess. It's cables on top of cables, like a spider web gone wild. I couldn't believe it actually works, but it does, quite well in fact. Belle and part of her family live together in one of these small townhouses. It's a simple two-story home, not too big, but comfortable. Filipinos are generally smaller in stature and used to living closely together, so sharing the space with her sister and kids, nieces, and two more sisters isn't unusual, and somehow it works. It's small, but beautiful. At the entrance, there are iron bars securing the doors and windows, and there's a lovely display of flowers. Once inside, you step into a spacious living room where most of the daily life happens. There's a television, a couch, a working desk with a computer, and behind that, the kitchen. To the right is the bathroom with a toilet. A big dining table sits near the center where the whole family gathers for meals. Stairs lead up to the second floor, where there are two roomy bedrooms and an area for doing laundry. Above that is the rooftop, which Belle lovingly calls her garden. It's full of plants, a peaceful spot to relax, and from there you get a nice view over the town. The streets outside are narrow and crowded. Vehicles are parked everywhere, some cars, but mostly the famous tricycles. It even looks like some people live half on the street. But the overall vibe is surprisingly warm and comfortable. There's a sense of community, like you're sharing your life with your neighbors, but you still have your own space. Except for the noise, laughs. That's the second thing I noticed. It's loud in the Philippines. There's always some background noise, kids playing, construction going on, motorbikes and tricycles zooming by, some without mufflers, and of course the roosters, from morning until night. Most subdivisions are gated and have a security guard at the entrance, checking who comes in and goes out. Inside, rows of townhouses are tightly packed together. You won't find many shops or businesses inside the subdivision itself, but many residents open up little corner stores, sari-sari stores, right from their windows or front doors. These sell drinks, snacks, and other daily essentials. In Bell's subdivision, which is on the larger side, there's even a church and a school. Once you leave the subdivision and reach the main roads, you'll find all kinds of businesses: shops, supermarkets, restaurants, and tons of street vendors, including street food stalls. Along the main roads, you'll also find the big malls. And when I say big, I mean huge, air conditioned, modern, with dozens of stores and restaurants. For kids, there are playgrounds and playrooms. Malls here aren't just for shopping, they're a place to hang out, especially on weekends. Families go together to places like Jollibee, McDonald's, Mang Inasal, or Chowking. Even if people don't have much money to spend, they enjoy walking around, looking at shops, picking up some essentials, maybe a small toy for the kids. And no matter if it's raining or hot outside, in the mall, you're safe, cool, and dry. Outside traffic is another thing I couldn't ignore. The streets are packed with cars, motorcycles, tricycles, bicycles, and people walking everywhere. It feels like half the population travels by motorcycle or trike. Tricycles are cheap and very common for short distances. Then there are the colorful jeepneys, which work like shared minibuses. Buses exist too, but they usually connect cities and cost more. Driving through town, you see the full range: modest townhouses, bigger homes of the wealthy, shops and roadside vendors. But you also see poverty. Some people live in shacks, if you can even call them houses. Others live right on the street. Outside malls, children sometimes gather and ask for small change. That's the other side of the Philippines. For all its beauty, hospitality, and peaceful charm, there's also poverty and a lot of trash. You see garbage almost everywhere. Maybe their trash collection system isn't as developed as in other places. But even with all this, many people on the street look happy, more relaxed, more at peace. They smile at you as they pass by. It's a striking contrast to the Western world, where everyone always seems in a rush, stressed, serious, and rarely smiling. These were my first impressions during the early days of our stay. More stories and experiences are coming soon, so stay tuned for the next episode.